Medical marijuana has brought in some $3 million to the state of Missouri without a single bud being sold. All of that money is at the Department of Health and Senior Services with regulation and some job creation in mind. Tonight, ABC 17's Kirsty Crawford shows us how the medicinal herb will bring in at least 5,100 new jobs.
That $3 million already in the state's pockets comes from medical marijuana facility application fees in just the first month. The majority of that money will go toward jobs to regulate medical cannabis. I talked with a CEO of a medical marijuana business in Illinois to find out what kind of employees they needed to open and operate.
Even though it's in the cannabis industry, you still have to look at it as if it's a traditional business.
Scott Abbott with HCI Alternatives helped start his company from the bottom up. Abbott tells me building the business starts with state regulations, which Missouri is still working on. Before the first seeds are planted and the day-to-day staff is hired, construction, banking, security, and IT all have to be considered.
That perpetuates. So as you're building out, you're doing more construction, you're putting more lighting, but there's also a maintenance side to all that as well. And so it's from an industry standpoint, there's a great deal of jobs that will be created from this.
Abbott says he was surprised one of the first employees needed was a drug rep, much like the pharmaceutical companies use.
So the person we were using early on was actually a nurse that already had a lot of contacts with doctors and understood the medical side of the industry as well as the cannabis side and kind of married those two together and had those conversations.
HCI has been open for about 3.5 years. Between 2 dispensaries and 1 cultivation facility, it employs 65 people and plans to hire at least 60 more. Missouri plans on starting with 192 dispensaries, 61 grow sites, and 87 infused product factories. Abbott says each business needs at least 15 employees. I've done the math, and that's 5,100 new jobs in Missouri, not including the side businesses that work hand in hand with these medical marijuana companies. Abbott says banking can be tricky because it's still a federal crime, but working in the business isn't as laid back as some might think.
It's very strict. All your movements are controlled. You're under camera all day long, except in the bathroom.
HCI's employees wear scrubs with pockets sewn shut, and as a former state police trooper, Abbott says regulations are taken seriously.
We get inspected by agriculture, but we also get inspected by the Illinois State Police. They do regulatory components as well about those same processes.
At first, Abbott and his team were looking for employees in the medical industry, but not anymore.
We found out that those people with the medical background really had no more insight to cannabis than those that didn't, because cannabis really isn't taught in the medical community yet.
Now they look for anyone who is just eager to learn. The industry also pays higher than minimum wage. Dispensary retail employees can make between $14 and $17 an hour. The state plans on hiring for positions ranging from regional employees who process applications and facility inspectors to IT technicians and regional managers. Those salaries could be anywhere between $25,000 a year to about $96,000 a year.
Kirsty Crawford, thank you for that report, and good luck in Knoxville, Tennessee. The DHSS says it will be posting job listings at mocareers.mo.gov by the end of the month through May.